Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the team selection video for Game Week 14. We hope everyone's having a good week. How you doing, Jordan?
Yeah, everything's good. Almost the end of the week, and Game Week 14 is almost upon us. I think there's a lot to talk about in terms of our individual teams, especially for mine, because I have a bit of a headache, I think, this week.
Interesting. I mean, we're going to get into your team in a sec. Just before we start talking about Game Week 14, we'll quickly recap on Game Week 13 and how we did. So I'll start off with my team. So let's start off with Areola in goal. Not really much to shout about in goal. 3-pointer from Areola after he did concede. Annoyingly, I think it was 2 goals, wasn't it, for West Ham? Sorry, 1 goal against Burnley. 2-1 win, but Areola concedes. Into the back 3, Arsenal kept a clean sheet, so Gabriel comes away with a 6-pointer after Arsenal's 1-0 win against Brentford. Quite lucky, I think, to keep a clean sheet there, Arsenal. Moving on to the big disappointment of my team is Matty Cash. Matty Cash did play at right mid, so he was playing further forward, but he went subbed off at half time after I picked up a yellow card. So maybe Emery didn't want to take that risk. And as you'll see on my transfer plans, Matty Cash is definitely one that I think, a lot of us should be looking to get rid of personally. Livramento annoyingly did concede. As you guys know, Arsenal, Chelsea did lose to Newcastle in that big 4-1 thumping win for Newcastle at home. Great victory. So unfortunately, no clean sheet, but Livramento did start as expected. Moving into that midfield 5, Diaby blanks, disappointed again in terms of being subbed off at half time, which was very frustrating as a Diaby owner to see him being subbed off at half time. I was hoping that he gets another half, and he's definitely coming out as well, which we'll come on to my transfer plans. Palmer did blank in that loss to Newcastle. Saka did, however, get an assist, so comes away with a very nice 8-pointer. Son blanks, a very frustrating game for Sun owners. The fake hat trick he scored with all offside goals. Salah, on the other hand, did pick up an assist for Trent Alexander-Arnold, so comes away with another 5-pointer. Up top, Watkins did the same. Watkins did score, however, in that win against Spurs. And then Haaland did score as well in that game, I believe, against Liverpool, obviously, with the 1-1. Feels like ages ago for some reason, that game. But yeah, 1-1. Liverpool, Man City. Haaland comes away with a 14-pointer as he's my captain. And all in all, nothing really on the bench apart from a couple of blanks from Archer, Simicast, and Taylor. It is a green arrow, however, which is always good. 48 points for me for Game Week 13. And it was a very small green arrow up to 1.2 million now. Well, 1.3 million pretty much, just inside that top 1.3. So I'm hoping to get into that 1 million spot very soon. Definitely by the Christmas period, I'd hope to be in the 500k mark, or it would be a bit of a worry. But let's say anyway, 48 points for me, Game Week 13, green arrow, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, Jordan, talk us through how your Game Week 13 went as well, and discuss your team.
Yeah, so it was a very tough week, I think, for Game Week 13 for me, as there was a lot of absences. But yeah, we start off with Areola in goal, like we said before. No clean sheet because of Burnley scoring that penalty, so only 3 points for Areola. 1 point added on for the saves he made in that game. Moving on to defence, so we got Trippier, who ends up on 1 point after Chelsea conceded 1 goal, so his clean sheet was wiped, and he also got a yellow card, which only led to him getting the 1 point. Luca Dean, similar situation where Aston Villa conceded, so no clean sheet for him either. Moving on to the next defender, that is Simicast. As expected, no clean sheet for him either against Man City, but a nice draw to take away from the Etihad for Liverpool, which would be nice. And finally, we've got Branthwaite, who obviously is substitute on for my absentee in the midfield, which was Bowen. So he gets me 1 point for coming on. And yeah, in that massive 3-0 defeat over Man United. So no clean sheets in defence for Game Week 13. Moving on to the very strict midfield. So we've got 3 in the midfield of Saka, who does get me return. Obviously, the clean sheet, the assist, and the bonus 2 leaves him with 8 points in that 1-0 win. And Son, another blank for him. Very unfortunate one for those 3 offside goals, but only 2 points he managed to get from that game. And finally, we've got Andreas, where my luck had to run out at some point, and I think it ran out at Andreas because, as David mentions in the chat, Andreas could have potentially got a 15-pointer in that game, but because he wasn't on penalties, that meant he didn't take it. So, yeah, I was quite gutted at that, absolutely gutted that he ended up on 2 points, because I would have thought that would have been a massive clutch of Gameweek 13 and yet another good clutch, which I managed to pull off, but it wasn't to be, and he ends up on only 2 points in that very interesting 3-2 win over Wolves. Moving on to the front three, so we've got Haaland, who was the captain. I managed to get 14 points off of his captaincy, so that was nice. He scored the goal and the bonus one on top of that. His teammate Alvarez, on the other hand, no return for him, only leaving him with 2 points. And finally, we've got Watkins, who manages to get his goal in that Tottenham game, where Aston Villa won 2-1. He also got a yellow card, though, which meant he didn't get bonus points, which would have been much nicer, but he did end up with 5 anyway. And yeah, there's nothing to really talk about on the bench, as it's very lacklusting, so I won't really go through that. But that pretty much sums up Game Week 13. It was a pretty scary game week for me, considering Vitome and Bowen both out for me in the midfield. But the red arrow wasn't very significant as I thought it would be. I'm just underneath 100k, so I'm just on 107 after obviously the Monday night fixture. So yeah, 42 points, and yeah, it wasn't a bad red arrow for Game Week 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess, in the end. It wasn't a massive red arrow for you. And even for me, it was a very small green anyway. It's like I barely moved rank. So, yeah, it's one of those game weeks, I think. Let's hope for a much better Game Week 14, though. So let's move on to our bus teams for Game Week 14. However, I actually have made a couple of transfers. So for those that aren't aware, I have made 2 transfers. I was meant to tweet it out. I literally forgot to tweet this out. So sorry for that, guys. I have already made my moves. And I had a very busy week, with work and everything. So I did do my moves early. I actually done them on, I want to say Sunday or Monday night before Saliba went up in price, basically, because as I'll come on to. So just before we go into my transfer plans, I'll just read out my team very quickly. So in goal, I have Areola, who has Palace. I'm playing a back 3 of Gabriel, Cash, Tsimikas. Midfield 5 is Diaby, Palmer, Saka, Son, and Salah. And then up front, I've got Watkins and Haaland. Now, I had about 1 million in the bank, I believe, and then I had 2 free transfers as well. And as you guys might be aware, Mbumo and Saliba, rose in price. I think Monday night or Sunday night, one of those. And I did the move early, so I didn't miss out on the price rise. So I think the moves are quite obvious. As I mentioned, I was very frustrated with the Villa assets, namely Matty Cash and Diaby. So Matty Cash and Diaby definitely are coming out my team. So just to show you guys, it is Cash and Diaby out. I've been, these are obvious moves for me. I think for me, it's time to get rid of them. And the players I'll be looking to bring in for Matty Cash and Diaby are actually Saliba and Mbumo. So these moves are already been made. I should add, I've done them early. I've caught the price rise 0.1 on both Saliba and Mbumo. So those are the 2 players I've already bought in. They're locked in. And my team looks a lot better now. And I'm much, much happier seeing how it looks on the pitch rather than when I had Matty Cash and Diaby. I think it's time to now get rid of them for me, in my personal opinion. So Saliba comes in for the double Arsenal defense against Wolves. I'm very happy with that. I think Arsenal go like mid-term fixtures are pretty nice. They got a nice win as well in the Champions League last night. So happy to own Arsenal double defense for the foreseeable. I don't really see a great defense, and statistically, Arsenal do actually have the best defense in the league in terms of expected goals conceded. They are conceding the fewest amount of big chances against. And then finally, the transfer in Mbumo. I mean, there's not really much to discuss on Mbumo. He's going to be a very popular pick this week because he's got that fixture against Luton. But going ahead, also, he's got some nice fixtures against Brighton, Sheffield, etc. So Mbumo comes in. His ownership is at 27% now. And yeah, he's been excellent all season, really. 6 goals, 3 assists. Very happy to own him again. I did own him from game week 1 or 2. I think I had him quite early on. and he was a great asset for me. But now he's back in my team. I got him for 6.9 million. I think he's now 7 million. So yeah, I think it's a good move. And only wary about Mbeumo is that get a blank in game week 18. However, that's the team, guys. The 2 transfers have been made. That leaves me with 0.6 million in the bank, and I've gone early because I would have had about 0 0.4 in the bank if I didn't. So yeah, very happy with the moves, and I'm happy with the way my team's set up. In terms of captaincy, though, I have gone Haaland. Currently, it's on Haaland, but it's not close at all. If I'm being honest, I could easily switch it to Mo Salah. It's a lot closer for me this week. I am tempted with Salah. Liverpool are playing literally in under an hour, and Salah does start tonight against Lask, which is a slight worry. But I'll see how that game goes and then make my mind up from here. But yeah, that's the team. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think it could be a decent game week, but I don't want to jinx anything.
I wish I could say the same.
Yeah. I mean, let's pull up your team though. Talk us through your lineup, your transfers, and your plans as well. What you're doing with your team, because you've got a couple flags in your team, haven't you?
Yeah, not only 2 midfielders are flagged, but let's start off with the goalkeeper's Areola, who's got Crystal Palace at home. Definitely would want to play Leno against Liverpool away because I expect Liverpool to score. So my clean sheet rests in Areola's hands. I'm hoping he can finally get one. It feels like since I've had him, he's not really given the clean sheet.
I don't think he has at all. Since
No.
I've got him into the when we wildcarded in game week 8, he's not had a clean sheet since.
Yeah, it's been awful. Not really an outstanding goalkeeper at high or cheap prices to go for at the moment, but let's hope he does well against Crystal Palace at home. But in the defence, we've got Simicast, who has Fulham at home, so it's a nice fixture for him after that Man City one. So yeah, I do expect a very good game for Simicast, potentially a clean sheet as well, because Anfield is a difficult place for any team to play in, especially scoring against Liverpool at Anfield as well. So I do expect a clean sheet for Simicast and maybe an attack and return, because he does show that from set pieces and corners. So yeah, I'm very happy to play him. Moving on to the next offender, that is Trippier, who has Man United at home. And just for those Trippier owners, not to worry you or anything, but Trippier is on 4 yellow cards. So if he gets one more, he is then suspended for the next matches. So yeah, that's just one thing to look out for. Trippier is on 4 yellow cards, and hopefully he doesn't get one in that Man United game at home. So otherwise that'll put me in much more dire and dire things in my team to add on to what's already here. But yeah, hopefully it goes smoothly for Trippier. Moving on to the next offender, that is Luca Dean, who also, I believe, is on 4 yellow cards as well. So he could miss out. This would be, this would be very bad. I think this game week, if this turns out to be, but he does have Bournemouth away. I think that's a nice fixture, I think, for Luca Dean. I've been waiting for something like a clean sheet or an attacker return for Luca Dean, because he has shown more of an attacking threat rather than looking like a clean sheet for Aston Villa. So I'm hoping that Bournemouth away fixture does provide me something from Aston Villa asset, because again, it seems like there's not been a clean sheet from them at all in a while. But here is where we move on to the most important part of my team, and this is the midfield. So let's begin with Matoma, who's currently yellow flag. So with Matoma, the situation is it looks like he'll be back for Sunday's match, because he did travel with the teammates to Athens for that Thursday's UEFA League clash with I can't much remember who it was. I think it's
they play tonight, don't they?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they play tonight. And yeah, it looks like he'll be back. I mean, he did travel with the team in that Europa League, so that's a good sign, because they do play on Sunday. So,
I'm just looking at the lineup right now for Brighton, actually. Just sorry to thing.
Yeah.
Mitoma actually started the game tonight, so, and he's come off after 70 minutes. So Mitoma's fine, I think, the flag.
Yeah, Mitoma is looks like to be fine, which is pretty much a good relief. I think that does release the worries of him, whether he starts or not against Chelsea away. But yeah, it's a good sign to see, and less thing to worry about, I think, for my team. Moving on to the next teammate, that is Son, who's got Man City away. And obviously this is a tough fixture after especially Son could have had a hat-trick and we would all
Yeah,
be
that was
laughing, I think, if he did get a hat trick last game week. But yeah, he does have Man City away, tough fixture, and it's a bit split 50-50 whether people are holding on to Son or getting rid of him. But he is also going to be in my transfer plans after I've gone through my
ooh,
team. He is going to be a talking point.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Next midfielder who's also got a flag, and that is Jared Bowen. Now, let's just recap pretty much what's happened to Jared Bowen. He was obviously he didn't play in the Burnley game last game week in game week 13, and he was not playing in the international break either. I think Southgate sidelined Jared Bowen as well, so yeah, he wasn't in that either. And as far as we know, Jared Bowen has a knee injury, and it is fluid on the knee, but
Mm.
it all depends if he recovers from his issue of his fluid on the knee in time for Sunday's
Al-
main game.
Also, just to add on that, West Ham are playing right now. They are currently drawing 0-0 to Baka Topola. Never heard of that team. Sorry if I butchered that name. But Bowen is not in the starting 11 or on the bench at all. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But there's no Bowen in that in a traveling squad, I believe.
Yeah, because I think with Southgate, he said it was a precautionary to obviously not play Bowen in the squad. And
Yeah.
David Moores confirmed on Wednesday that Bowen wouldn't travel to
Mm.
Serbia for that, obviously, tonight's clash
Yeah.
with Topola. So, yeah, in that sense, I am crossing my fingers, I think, for Bowen to
Yeah.
start in Crystal Palace at home. The good thing is it's on a Sunday, which does give him an extra day, I
That's
think.
true.
So I'm hoping for Bowen. If he does manage to have, be fit for that game, I'll be over the moon. And I don't think I'll be worried at all for this game week, but we'll have to
Mm.
wait and see come the time. But finally, move on to the last midfielder, and that is Saka, who has Wolves at home. Happy to play Saka. He got an assist last game. Hoping he can manage to get more than an assist this game week. Potentially maybe a goal against Wolves. Strong fixture at home for obviously Arsenal, and yeah, hoping for a good return for Saka, who's my vice, just in case. But we move on to the front three, and that is Watkins, who has Bournemouth away. I think this is the last game where Watkins has a decent fixture, because I do believe after this game week, the fixtures slightly get more trickier for Aston Villa, because they do play Man City in game week 15 and then play Arsenal in 16. So maybe some people after this Bournemouth away fixture will look elsewhere for a forward alongside Haaland. But yeah, we have to see what he does against Bournemouth away, because I feel like he could be a hold to go on for if he keeps the run of form up. From obviously if he keeps scoring like he did against obviously Spurs.
Mm.
But yeah, I like the fixture that he has against Bournemouth. Moving on to the next teammates, Haaland and Alvarez, who both have Tottenham at home. Obviously, Haaland is my captain so far this week. I'm not going to look elsewhere. There isn't really any other captain pick I could go for that looks convincing, apart from Saka, but even that is a bit tedious, I think. So, yeah, it's firmly put on Haaland, I think. Next is Alvarez. Obviously, I don't expect Alvarez to play many minutes henceforth now, as the fixtures, obviously, from this start of this game week will be very tight, 3-day, 4-day gaps in between.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of fixtures for Alvarez to play. So there is going to be a lot of Pep Roulette. And he is also going to be in my transfer plans as well. And obviously, I'll move on to that very shortly. Just briefly on the bench, we've got Leno, who's got Liverpool away, Taylor, who has Sheffield United at home, Andreas, who has Liverpool away, and Brentford, who has Nottingham Forest away. I've put Taylor as my first team bench just in case either Bone or Matoma don't play any minutes in football, but I don't think I should be worried too much about that. But that's just in case he doesn't, then Taylor can come on, who has a nice fixture against Sheffield United at home, and maybe there's a clean sheet there. But yeah, we move on to my transfer plans. So I am sticking to what I have said previously for my transfer plans. I am going to take out Son, and I'm also going to take out Julian Alvarez as well. So I have 2 free transfers, 1.6 million in the bank, and those are the 2 moves that I'm doing. So Son is out on my team, and Alvarez is out on my team. And the reason being why I've taken these two out is to fund money for Salah, who I've been longing to obviously hold out for as long as I could. But it seems like I can't go without Salah now, without actually getting a good game week. I think it's going to be really hard to do it now that Salah is literally on form pretty much every game week. So I brought in Archer in place for Alvarez, and that has left me with enough money to bring in Salah, who was originally Son. So Salah has Fulham at home. Nice fixture to bring him in, especially after that tough one against Man City last game week. So yeah, happy to do that. And I'm going to play Archer as well, who has Burnley away. I think that's a good fixture, considering Archer's only had 2 goals and 1 assist this season. But I have a gut feeling he could get a goal or an assist in this Burnley away fixture, because it is the kind of fixture where it is a bit more balanced in terms of Sheffield United, in obviously the difficulty rating that they have. So yeah, I decided to go for that, and that leaves me with 0.5 in the bank. And yeah, it's a 3-4-3 formation, and fingers crossed Matoma and Bones flags are not as serious as thought to be, and obviously they play, fingers crossed. But yeah, that is how my team is looking going forward into Game Week 14.
Okay, nice one. So you're looking to bring in Salah, finally, some would say, and obviously Archer. Interesting moves. Obviously, Son is the big one. You're, pretty certain that you're going to sell Son, which is interesting because obviously that's a bit of a debate. But yeah, we'll come on to more in a bit. Well, let's take a few of your questions, because there's a few questions that have come in. I just want to add though, if you guys are watching and enjoying the content, all we ask for, guys, please smash that like button. It really helps support the channel. Also, please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel as well. It really helps support the channel, and it just helps with the YouTube algorithm. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. And yeah, let's get into the comments. I've got Alex here who says, hi guys. Hi Alex, as always, hope you're well. David is in the chat. The fact Andreas wasn't on penalties and Jordan was robbed of 15 points was a travesty of justice.
Yeah,
you spoke about that.
Yeah, literally it was. I think my luck ran out at that moment, because it would have been massive if Andreas got 15 points in that game. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
devastated.
That's what FPL dreams are made of, really. If you something like that.
Yeah, literally could have made my game week.
Hasa will be looking at cash to Pinnock. I've done Saliba in, but yeah, Pinnock's decent for sure. Diabito and Bumo, yep, that's an obvious one I've done already. And yeah, happy to go in Bumo for Luton fixture. Watkins isn't in the squad. Okay, that's interesting. I've not seen that. We've got Christian as well in the chat. Evening, lads. Good stream as usual. I did Saka in for Son and cash out for Maguire. I brought in Bumo in last week. Your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this?
Well, the cash out for Maguire is interesting because I put Onana as an ignore in the transfer tips video, and I would say to any goalkeeper or defender that
you literally, I was going to say, you saw that. I mean, I don't know if you watched United's game. You probably did. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see Onana's performance?
I did. I did. Absolutely terrible. I have always said they should never have got rid of De Gea, and that game just proves to me that we're worthwhile with De Gea, because that was absolutely embarrassing what Onana did. He threw that game away for us.
But you're going on to Man United defense again. Maguire, he's got Newcastle. I don't see a clean sheet at St. James Park for Man United.
No, absolutely not. Not at Newcastle's ground. I'll be very shocked. Very shocked if they keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Maguire one because the fixtures have turned slightly. Saka, I like. And Mbeumo, I think, is a great transfer last week. So yeah, I like it. Just not sure about Maguire against Newcastle. And even after that, the Liverpool coming up, etc. We'll see. Nishan, Cash, or Dean? Probably Cash. I still think maybe just because obviously I wouldn't bring Dean in right now. He's got 4 yellow cards, but I would actually avoid Cash in total as well. I'd avoid the Villa defense right now. I wouldn't be bringing him in. Jordan, comment here from Alex, Trippier, Bowen, and Mitoma to Lascelles, Palmer, Salah for a -4. Just a suggestion. I mean, you probably don't want to take a -4, do you, really, as well?
Well, that's another thing which leads on to David's comment further down. come the deadline stream, I might be tempted at taking the -4, but it isn't for obviously the comment for Alex. I may take the -4 to take out Mitoma and bring in Huang. So I like the look of Huang. He was my buy suggestion in the transfer tips video. I think he's very underlooked, and even though he's got Arsenal next, doesn't necessarily mean he won't score against Arsenal. Even though Arsenal look good, I have a good feeling that Huang could get a goal, but Wolves might not win the game. But I see a goal from Huang in that game.
Yeah, Huang's definitely been sort of underlooked. It's fair to say. Because how many goals he's actually scored is quite impressive, and I didn't realize he'd actually scored as many goals as he did.
Yeah, I think 8 goals, and that's very surprising considering his ownership is under 10%. Now he's scored more goals than a lot of midfielders that are highly more owned than Huang.
Pranav as well in the chat. Hey there, FPL Duo. Hi Pranav, hope you're well. Will Bowen play in the next game week? Well, this is the burning question. I mean, with Bowen, if you're a Bowen owner like yourself, obviously Pranav, you probably own Bowen as well, I'm guessing. I would want to keep Bowen if I knew he's going to play, because Bowen's fixtures are really nice for the next couple of. He's got a nice run of fixtures, so if I knew he's going to be fit, I'd keep him. Wait till the press conferences, I say, see if there's any team news leaks. But Bowen should be fine. If you've not got him, I wouldn't be trying to bring Bowen in right now. But if you've got him, it's a hard sell because the fixture's so nice going forward. But no one really knows. We don't know for 100%, do we?
No, it's not 100%. We just got updates. Literally, he's got fluid on the knee, and David Moyes confirmed only Wednesday that he won't be travelling to tonight's game, which West Ham are currently playing at the moment. That's all we know at the current stage. So we have to wait till press conference till we hear more about Jared Bowen's situation.
You could do cash to, and you've got the cash, to do Andreas to Huang and keep Mitoma. So you can check that if you want. Yeah, so basically take out Andreas instead.
I mean, I could do that.
And then have the 5 midfield set up, basically.
Yeah, that does make sense. It's whether I want to keep Mitoma. That's the question. I'm not sure about whether I want to keep him or not now.
Yeah, well, Mitoma did start tonight. Played 70 minutes, just subbed off. So it's one to watch. Should I invest my free transfer on defenders or on forwards to score more goals, as defenders aren't keeping clean sheets? Yeah, great question, actually, because this is, we've been asked this a bit when we spoke about defenders. I don't think there's many great defenders right now. I like the double up on Arsenal. Obviously, that's why I bought Saliba in. But other than that, I would be looking at midfielders, if I'm being honest, Pranav. And I think midfielders is where the money's at, where the value's at, where the points are at. Likes of Mbumo. There's Bowen if he's fit, Saka. If you want to take a punt on a Liverpool midfielder, Jota has been confirmed out for till potentially the new year, which again, it means even more. If Darwin, we spoke about strikers, but Darwin now is not starting tonight. I think Darwin against Fulham could be a very nice little returner if he starts. I mean, he should start because Gakpo's playing tonight against in the Europa League. What else? Take this comment from Roman. What would you lads do with Martinelli? He's obviously a keep, but to get Saka in for him, I would need to take a -4. What do you make of this?
Martinelli. I don't know with Martinelli, really. I mean, he hasn't had a return literally since.
Scored last night in the Champions League.
Yeah, I think he's had more fortune in the Champions League than he has in the Premier League in the coming game weeks. The last return he had was against Man City, where Arsenal won 1-0, and that was the goal, the only goal that was scored in that game. So since then, Martinelli hasn't had a return, and his minutes have varied as well from 65 to obviously 90 minutes. So yeah, it's very. I'm not sure about Martinelli. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I would just keep Martinelli personally if I was in your situation. I don't think it's worth taking a -4 to bring Saka in for him, which is kind of a sideways move because you never know. Martinelli could match Saka. It's quite easy, it's not impossible for him to match Saka. So definitely for a -4, I'd just keep Martinelli. He's a better differential and just pray he outscores Saka. Is Trippier worth it or downgrade to Lascelles, Maguire? I'd be tempted to keep Trippier now, I think.
Yeah, because after Man United, the fixtures for Trippier get much more better because he has Everton away in 15, Spurs away in 16, and then Fulham at home, then Luton in 18. So, yeah, the fixtures are really nice until game week 20 and 21 when he plays Liverpool, Man City. But till then, the fixtures do turn for Trippier.
Sherwin says, I have Simicast. Would you bring in Kelleher? To be honest, I don't think I would. Obviously, we know Alisson's out. But just looking at the fixtures, Alisson is expected to miss maybe 3 league games. Fulham, Sheffield, and Palace. Klopp has actually mentioned Alisson is expected to return for the fixture against Man United on the 17th of December. So I don't think it's worth bringing in Kelleher for another 3 fixtures, personally. If you're on a wild card or something, maybe you can do it, but I just think you might get 3 games out of him. You might get more if Alisson's out longer because sometimes injuries do go on for a lot longer than expected. Like a Botman injury, for example, it's gone on forever. It seems when we were initially told it's not that serious. So, but no, I don't think I would waste a transfer on it right now. I think Simicast is fine and just having that one Liverpool defender. Jordan, comment for you. Do you think Lascelles, Palmer, Alvarez outscore Mitoma, Archer, and Trippier by 4 points?
No, I don't think they will. I don't think they would outscore Archer and Trippier.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if Alvarez will. I don't know how many minutes Alvarez will start to begin with. Palmer that's Brighton, I guess.
Yeah.
And the Lascelles has Man United. No, I do see Archer and Trippier probably outscoring those 3.
And final question from Mr. Blanky before we wrap it up, because we're gonna go watch some football in a bit. Hey fellas, I'm thinking about using my wild card in game week 19, vacate Mbumo in game week 16, and Haaland, Alvarez in 17, and bring them back in game week 19 with my wild card. What do you think? Yeah, so obviously we know Man City and Brentford blank, I think, in game week 18. So you'll have to. What's the plan? Are you going to bench the likes of Haaland? We have to decide, or do we transfer them out? So yeah, that could make sense if you want to bring them back in your game week 19 wild card and get rid of them before that. Could make sense. Again, depends on your strategy. Obviously, I don't have my wild card. A lot of people have already wild carded, but if you've still got it in the back pocket, it could make sense to take them out and then bring them back in the wild card in game week 19 for sure. If you're in that position. A few more questions coming in, but yeah, guys, please do smash the like button. I think there's not enough likes on this video. I'm just checking now. There's only like 8 likes, and there's like 20 of you in here. So please do like the stream. If everyone in here, if you haven't already hit that like button, I want to see this to 20 likes before we end the stream. So hit that like button, guys. I know you guys are watching, and you guys could hit that like button for us. And also make sure you do subscribe. I think we're about 34 subscribers away now from the big 1,000, which is would be amazing for our channel. So also share the video as well if you can. As always, really helps us out. I've done them showing. You'll have to go back and watch the stream again. I've done
Well, I mean, I can quickly show
them. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, Cash and Diaby out for us, and then he brought in Salibra and Mbeumo.
Yep. So those are the 2 moves for me, and yeah, pretty happy with my team. To be fair, and how it looks for once. I feel like for the last couple of weeks, I've not been too happy with my team. LOL. Hello. Should I sell Saka or Son so I can get Watkins and Zinchenko?
I wouldn't sell Saka when he has Wolves at home.
Yeah.
I think out of our Arsenal assets, Saka is one I'm probably going to keep for a while. On the other hand, Son, it all depends if you see Son doing well in the next coming game weeks. He has Man City next. It all depends on if you see him outscoring Watkins, because that would be ultimate decision making if you see Watkins outscoring Son or vice versa. And if you see Zinchenko getting a clean sheet, but I wouldn't take out Saka in replace for Zinchenko.
Yeah, I'm not sure on Zinchenko. I think he's a good pick when he plays, but there could be slight rotation, especially around this Christmas period when there's a lot of fixtures coming thick and fast. I would not be surprised if Zinchenko was benched for one game for a Tomiyasu or a Ben White. Start Son or Gordon. I would not be comfortable benching Son, even though it's against Man City, personally. Gordon's got Man United. Obviously, Man United conceded 3 goals last night. Man United have, however, kept a couple of clean sheets in a row in the Premier League, but it's safe to say the one against Everton, if Everton could finish.
Yeah, different story, I think. Completely different story if they could finish. And we've seen that many times, like Wolves. They could have, if they could finish, Man United would be in trouble in that game. So there is a bit of fortune carried along that.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't want to bench either, so I'd play both and play 5 in midfield, David. You've got to play Son, or if you're not confident on Son, then I'd just sell him rather than bench him and get that money into and move it around in your team. Because I wouldn't want to bench a player that's cost nearly 10 million.
Yeah, if you've got Son, you play him.
We'll take him out.
Yeah, we'll take him out. That's very one way or another for Son.
But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, Jordan. It's been a good stream. When are we back next? Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday. It's a much later deadline. I believe it's 1:30 deadline for Saturday. So we'll be most likely streaming around 12:30 in the afternoon.
We'll go at 12 maybe. We'll see. We might go a bit early. We might stream at 12 p.m. On Saturday. So make sure you do tune in, guys, for that Saturday stream. Should be a very, very good one on Saturday for the deadline stream. And yeah, December tomorrow. So wow, I mean, it's gone very quick. Just for those that aren't aware, it's been 2 years. Or it's going to be 2 years in a week's time. So in 7 days' time, it will be exactly 2 years since we posted our first video on this channel. So shout out to everyone that's been with us since the first game week or the first, for the first video. It's come a long way. We still enjoy making these content for you guys. So yeah, hit that like button. It just helps us out a lot. And then yeah, we are back again, as I said, Saturday. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I want to say, thanks to everyone in the chat as well. It's been a lively feed today. And we're going to go enjoy the football. Anything else you want to add, Jordan, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy obviously the football that's on tonight. But yeah, very emotional 2 years. It hasn't felt like it's been that long. It's gone really quickly, but we've enjoyed every second of it. And yeah, thanks for you guys for your support and appreciation that you've given us so far. But yeah, deadline stream. It will be interesting. Just tune in for that on Saturday afternoon. There's going to be a lot to talk about, and potentially I may be taking a -4. So make sure you're there for the excitement and action that's going to bring. But until then, take care, and we'll see you on the next stream.
And thank you, Colm. Thank you, Colm, for the comment. Hit the like on the way out, people. Thank you, and also thank you to Chief. Thank you with the comment. We appreciate you as well for supporting us from day one. But yeah, love, guys. See you soon.